Spots, spots everywhere, but who's who? Have you ever seen a big cat with beautiful spots and thought to yourself, that has to be a cheetah, right? Then you take a second look and think, wait, is that a leopard? Or hold on, could it be a jaguar? If you've ever had that moment of animal identity crisis, you're not alone. These three-spotted big cats confuse even seasoned safari goers. At first glance, they might look like siblings at a big cat family reunion, but trust me, each of them is a completely different beast. We're talking about cats that live on different continents, hunt in totally different ways, and have their own special superpowers. Today, we're diving deep into the wild world of cheetahs, leopards, and jaguars to uncover what really sets them apart. Which one is the fastest land animal? Which one has a bite force strong enough to crush a turtle shell? Which one can haul its dinner up a tree like it's carrying a grocery bag? As someone who has spent a good chunk of their life watching these animals in the wild, I can tell you this: once you know what to look for, you'll never mix them up again. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to spot the difference like a pro and maybe even impress your friends the next time you're watching a nature documentary. So get ready, because we're about to settle the ultimate big cat question once and for all. Who's faster, who's tougher, and who's the real king of the spots? Where in the world do these spotted superstars come from? Alright, folks, let's talk real estate, big cat style. Because just like humans, every animal needs a place to call home, and our three feline stars have chosen some seriously different neighborhoods. Let's start with the cheetah, the speed demon of the savannah. If cheetahs had a favorite vacation spot, it would definitely be the Serengeti in East Africa. Picture endless golden grasslands, wide open space, and just enough trees for a bit of shade. It's like the ultimate racetrack for a cat built for speed. They don't want forests or mountains slowing them down. Nope, cheetahs like it flat, hot, and fast. I always say, if Usain Bolt were an animal, he'd be a cheetah with spots and a serious need for speed. Now, leopards are the opposite. These guys are the survivalists, the MacGyvers of the big cat world. They can live almost anywhere, and I mean anywhere. Africa, check. India, check. The mountains of Nepal or the forests of Sri Lanka, you bet. I've seen leopards lounging on rocks in the African bush one day, and the next week, watching them blend into snowy Himalayan slopes like furry little ghosts. They're like the ultimate travelers with passports stamped on every continent they touch. If you're playing hide and seek with a leopard, good luck. They're masters of blending in and adapting to everything from jungle to desert to suburbia. And now, let's head west, way west, into the deep, tangled, humid heart of the Amazon rainforest. That's where the jaguar rules the roost. Jaguars are the tank of this trio. They live in the dense tropical forests of Central and South America, where the humidity is thick enough to drink and the vines never stop growing. You'll find them lurking near rivers, silently stalking prey through muddy swamps and thick jungle brush. I once watched a jaguar swim across a wide river like it was no big deal, then vanish into the forest like a spotted ninja. They're one of the only big cats that actually like water. Can you imagine a cat that swims for fun? So let me ask you this: if you were a big cat, where would you want to live? Would you rather sprint across the African plains like a cheetah, sneak through every ecosystem on the planet like a leopard, or stomp through the Amazon like a jungle boss jaguar? Each one has carved out their own turf and learned how to dominate it in their own unique way. And trust me, knowing where an animal lives is the first step to understanding why it behaves the way it does. Their homes shape their hunting styles, their personalities, even their bodies. So next time you see one of these big cats in a documentary, zoo, or wild nature cam, try to guess where it came from. You just might start to see the wild world with new eyes. Body built for the wild. Who's fastest? Who's strongest? Who's scariest? Alright, folks, it's time for my favorite part of any big cat showdown. Let's talk muscle, speed, and raw, jaw-dropping power. Imagine if the animal kingdom had its own Olympics. Who would take home the gold in the 100-meter dash? Who'd crush the powerlifting records? And who would be the wild card MMA champ, throwing down in the jungle with zero mercy? Let's start with the cheetah, the undisputed sprinter of the animal world. Picture this: a long, sleek body built like a race car, with powerful back legs, a flexible spine, and claws that work more like cleats than cat claws. When a cheetah takes off, It's not just running, it's exploding forward. This cat can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3 seconds. That's faster than most sports cars. I've seen them in action, and trust me, it's like watching lightning come to life. But, and here's the catch, they're built for speed, not stamina. After a sprint, they're totally wiped out. Think of the cheetah as the Usain Bolt of the bush, not a marathon runner. Now, shift gears and meet the leopard, the all-around athlete. If the cheetah is a track star, the leopard is a CrossFit champion. Leopards are fast, but not cheetah fast, strong, but not jaguar strong. What makes them amazing is how balanced they are. I've watched leopards carry prey twice their weight up a tree, yes, up a tree using nothing but their jaws and muscle power. Imagine dragging a full-sized deer up a 20-foot tree just because you don't want to share dinner. That's a leopard move. They're like the parkour masters of the wild, powerful, agile, and not afraid of heights. And then comes the jaguar. Oh boy, if cheetahs are built for speed and leopards for agility, jaguars are pure brute strength. These guys are thick, solid, and absolutely terrifying if you're on the wrong end of those jaws. Their heads are massive. Their necks are like tree trunks, and their bite force. It's the strongest of any big cat, even stronger than a lion or tiger. I've seen footage of jaguars cracking turtle shells like potato chips or biting straight through the skull of a caiman, a crocodile cousin. They don't go for the throat like most cats, they go right for the brain. Boom, done. If big cats were superheroes, the jaguar would be the tank, big, bold, and completely unstoppable once it locks on. Now let's break it down in real-world terms. If you need someone to win a drag race, send in the cheetah. If you need someone to climb a tree while carrying a body, call the leopard. If you need someone to break into a bank vault with their face, it's jaguar time. But here's the fun part, each cat is perfectly designed for the world it lives in. The cheetah rules the open plains where it can stretch its legs. The leopard dominates diverse terrains by being adaptable and sneaky. And the jaguar, it owns the dense, dangerous jungles where strength beats speed. So now I gotta ask, which one impresses you the most? The lightning bolt, the ninja, or the jungle bruiser? Stick around, because next up, we're diving into their hunting styles, and let me tell you, these cats have very different ways of catching dinner. Spotted confusion, who's who in the big cat zoo? Let's face it, telling a cheetah from a leopard or a jaguar can feel like one of those spot the difference puzzles you'd see at the doctor's office. They've all got spots, they're all cats, and at first glance, they might as well be triplets at a wild family reunion. But if you know what to look for, the differences are actually crystal clear. Let me walk you through the cheat sheet I use in the field, and no, it doesn't involve DNA tests or high-powered cameras. All you need are your eyes, a bit of attention to detail, and maybe a dash of imagination. First up is the cheetah, the supermodel of the savannah. Picture a cat built like a track athlete, long legs, a tiny waist, and a body made for pure acceleration. But the real giveaway, those teardrop marks on the face. Yep, cheetahs have sleek black lines running from the inner corners of their eyes down to the sides of their mouth. It's like they're wearing the world's most dramatic eyeliner, ready for a Vogue photo shoot in the middle of the grasslands. And fun fact, those marks aren't just for style. They actually help reduce glare from the sun, just like a football player's eye black. Functional and fashionable, that's cheetah energy. Now look at the leopard. This cat is the strong, silent type, more rugged than sleek. Its body is more muscular, the neck thicker, and the vibe more intense. The spots, or rosettes as we call them, are small and tidy. Think of them like perfect little donuts, rings with lighter centers and no extra filling. I always say leopard rosettes look like a well-designed wallpaper. You'd almost expect to see them printed on a luxury handbag. Leopards wear their spots with confidence, like they know they could disappear into a bush or slay on a fashion runway, whichever the day calls for. And now, the heavyweight champ, the jaguar. This cat is stockier, rounder, and built like it could knock down a tree if it wanted to. The face is wider, the jaw is heavier, and the stare, oh, the stare. Jaguars always look like they're about to ask, "You got a problem?" in the most intimidating way possible, but what really makes jaguars stand out is their rosettes. They're bigger, bolder, and here's the kicker, they usually have a little black dot right in the center, Like someone dipped their paw in ink and added an extra stamp for good measure. It's like leopard spots went to the gym and came back bulked up with bonus details. Let me give you a real-world trick. Imagine all three cats walk into a party. The cheetah shows up in sleek sportswear, sprinting to grab snacks before anyone else. The leopard arrives late, climbs a bookshelf to avoid the crowd, and quietly observes while sipping something mysterious. The jaguar doesn't walk in, it kicks the door open, stares everyone down, and makes itself comfortable on your favorite couch. So next time you see a spotted cat, ask yourself, is it graceful and tear-striped like a cheetah, lean and rosette-detailed like a leopard, or beefy and intense with those signature jaguar dots? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Trust me, after this, you'll be the spot specialist at every zoo trip or nature doc movie night. And hey, who doesn't want to be the one who says, actually, that's not a leopard, it's a jaguar? But here's the question, if you could have the look of one of these cats for a day, whose style would you steal? Up next, we're diving into how these cats hunt, and their hunting game is just as wild as their wardrobe. Hunting style, the wild personality test. Alright, grab your safari hats and binoculars, folks, because we are diving into one of the most exciting parts of any big cat story, the hunt. And let me tell you, how a predator hunts says a lot about who they are. It's like a personality test, only way more intense and with a lot more teeth. Let's kick things off with the cheetah, the Formula One racer of the animal kingdom. Cheetahs don't mess around with stealthy games or long chases. They spot their target, lock in, and then boom, it's go time. They launch forward with the kind of speed that would make a Ferrari blush. We're talking 60, even 70 miles per hour in just a few strides. But here's the catch, they've only got enough gas in the tank for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. So if they miss that antelope or gazelle, that's it. Game over. No second chances. It's like going all in at a poker table with one hand and hoping for a royal flush. High reward, high risk, high drama. And it works more often than you'd think. Now meet the leopard, nature's silent assassin. If the cheetah is the flashy sprinter, the leopard is the ninja in the shadows. This cat is all about patience, precision, and perfect timing. I once saw a leopard sit in the tall grass for over 45 minutes, not even blinking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And when it finally made its move, it was like watching a ghost appear out of nowhere. One leap, one bite, and it was over. But here's the most impressive part. After the takedown, a leopard doesn't just eat on the ground. No, sir, it grabs its prey, sometimes even twice its own weight, and drags it up a tree. Why? Because leopards are smart. Up there, no lions or hyenas can steal their meal. They turn trees into personal dining rooms, talk about exclusive reservations, and when it's time to strike, they go straight for the skull. Not the neck like most cats, the skull. Their bite is strong enough to punch right through bone. I've seen footage of a jaguar taking down a caiman, that's a crocodile's cousin, by diving into the water and biting straight through the head. It's one of the wildest, most jaw-dropping things in nature. If a cheetah is a sprinter and a leopard is a shadow, then a jaguar is a sledgehammer wearing fur. So now I've got to ask, if you were a predator, which style would you choose? Would you be the speedster who gambles everything on one explosive chase? Would you be the stealth master who turns patience into power? Or would you go full jaguar, charging in with brute force and fearless energy? Each hunting style matches not just the environment they live in, but the mindset they've evolved over millions of years. That's what makes these cats so incredible. They're not just fast or strong, they're strategic. Every move is a reflection of their personality, their home, and their role in the ecosystem. Coming up next, we'll talk about how each of these cats interacts with humans, other predators, and even each other in the wild. And let me tell you, the drama doesn't stop when the hunt is over.